There was a lot of work this week. We actually went to a co-working space, a really nice one here in Dubai called Nasab. Then there were a lot of co-working sessions here at my place while the guys were still here in Dubai. Let's talk a bit about the purpose and the value of these co-working sessions. Of course, when you're in a space with a lot of other people, with noise, it's not about deep work, it's not about pure focus. It's more about the boring tasks you don't like to do. And I'm sure you can relate. Everyone has these tasks that's not necessarily hard, not necessarily even time consuming, but are just a bit boring. And when you are in your comfort environment, let's say home office, you're not distracted, you want to prioritize something more interesting. You want to prioritize building something more interesting, doing something more interesting, but you still need to do these boring tasks. And what I like to do is once a week, maybe twice a week, to get out of home office to some sort of a co-working space, usually with friends, and dedicate this day to doing these boring tasks that needs to be done. And of course, in an ideal world, we won't have such tasks. We would delegate them, we would find a way to not do them, but we are not in an ideal world. We still need to do these tasks. But that's where these co-working sessions, for me, just do the thing. So, let me share a few thoughts from the book I read recently and really enjoyed. The book is called Anything You Want: 40 Lessons for a New Kind of Entrepreneur by Derek Sivers. For those of you who don't know Derek Sivers, I didn't know him. He's the founder of CD Baby, which you may not have heard about if you're not a huge music fan. Not so I haven't heard about before I read the book. CD Baby is a company who helped musicians to distribute their music, bypassing the labels. Apparently it was a huge problem in the late 90s, early 2000s. What interested me the most about this book is when you read books or listen to American entrepreneurs, they're mostly about the mindset of achieving bigger things, building the biggest company, achieving unicorn status, making billions of dollars, thousands of employees, millions of customers, etc., etc. It's always about getting bigger, doing bigger. And as I understood a couple of years back about myself, I don't really want to build a huge company, a corporation. I do not find it interesting or enjoying. I like small teams. It just doesn't resonate with me to try and build a billion-dollar company. Derek Sivers is one of a few American entrepreneurs, public ones who we can read or listen to, wanted to build a small company. He didn't want to build a huge company. He intentionally tried to build his company as small as possible, and he just wanted to help his clients who are independent musicians, as he was at the time. And this goal of building a small business, which still sold for tens of millions of dollars, which is considered pretty small. He shares 40 lessons for an entrepreneur that shares that kind of vision, which I did. So most of these 40 lessons resonated with me. The first idea is little things make all the difference. And it's true. I, as a consumer, or I, as a creator of some products, I always look at the details. This is how I choose products. Most of the products I interact on a daily basis, physical, digital, doesn't matter. There are usually a lot of solutions to the same problem. Many can do the job just fine, but there are usually a few or one that does it just a little bit better, just a bit more pleasant to use. You just get a bit more joy of using them. That's how I choose products. That's how I try to create mine. I'll give you a few examples. First of all, products where I'm just a consumer. We all use taxis. Let's say Uber, or here in Dubai we have the local one called Kareem, many other services also. All the taxi services do the same thing. They get you a car to drive you from point A to point B. Not much difference in the solution, but then there are small details that can matter. Of course, car can be better somewhere, but let's say we're talking and comparing 3 or 4 apps where you have the same cars, basically the same level of quality of cars. So you choose based on some other parameters, which of course may be the price, but you may also want to choose a higher price solution for some small details. And for me, here in Dubai and a few other countries, I use a service called Wheelie. It's not a promotion, unfortunately, and it can be the same car as in Yango or other taxi service. They are just so detail oriented. There's just one feature that when I first used it, that's when I was hooked. It's the airport pickup. Almost every taxi service has airport pickup. The things they nailed is, firstly, you just input your flight or scan the boarding pass, or you input the flight of a passenger that you want to order a taxi for. And the driver just comes on time. You don't need to schedule the time manually. You don't need to worry if the driver, like your flight is delayed for 2 hours. Is the driver waiting for you for 2 hours? No, it will just come when your flight lands. This is the first part. The second part is you can write a sign that the driver will hold for you or the person is welcoming at the airport, like this. And this part with the sign, it's a cute little touch, but it makes so much difference. Now I usually do it for my friends or my mom who arrive to Dubai. I order a sign, welcome message for them, and it just makes the start of the trip for a person so much better. Yes, the car may cost like 20-30% higher for the same car as you would get in other service, but these details do matter so much. And then the products we are building now and the new apps we're building, that's how I tried to operate from the beginning. We are focusing on the details so much. In the new products and the new apps we're building, there will be a lot of this little stuff that will just bring you a bit more joy as a user. You would want to use this solution instead of the other because it's a bit more pleasant. You can feel a bit more attention to details. And if you are a detail-oriented person, as many of us are, you would find it so enjoyable. So yeah, this is the thought that resonated a lot with me. Guys, I wanted to share with you a project we recently finished for a client in the agency. The client is a local UAE company, and the company provides a service of checking your crypto wallets or crypto transactions for AML purposes, anti-money laundering. So you can check any transaction, you can check any wallet and see where the funds came from and if it's safe to do transactions or business with this wallet. This may seem pretty easy, but in fact it was a pretty complex job in terms of scope, because we did 5 things for these clients basically. It was a website, this one you see, it's a landing page, but also a SEO website with a blog functionality. Client can now publish articles for SEO and GEO optimization, which is optimization for generative agents like ChatGPT and search in other neural networks, LLMs. We of course also did the app itself. It's a web app and Telegram app, and also fully custom CRM system, the admin panel, and fully custom affiliate program for this client. So it was quite a large project in terms of the scope. But the funny thing is, this client initially came for a mobile app, and my core principle in sales is I don't try to sell everything to everybody. I just want best for my clients, and this way it can be a win-win situation. So I told him what I thought. It's not worth it to invest in a mobile app at this stage. We should probably start with a web app. It would be a more wise decision in terms of the costs on initial startup, and also it would be easier to start and gain some traction for the products in Telegram mini app or on the web due to crypto and all that regulations and all that stuff, and more expensive traffic for the mobile apps. So we discussed and came to a conclusion that it's wiser to start with a web app. That's what we did for this client. Let me quickly show you the app itself. So on the app, you can input any wallet address. It will detect the network automatically. It will detect it correctly, but if for some reason it's mistaken, you can select it manually. Check wallet or a transaction and press check. Then you get the report like this one. You can see where the risks came from. You can see the risk score from 1 to 100. You can see all the details you want, and you can also generate a PDF to print this report if you want. Of course, there are a lot of other minor details in this product. Of course, you can top it up. You also have the referral program. You can invite friends and get free checks. This is the growth mechanic we also used on in my VPN company, which worked great. You can see other sessions and you can log them out, etc., etc. A lot of minor details. I won't get into that, but it's a really cool project. I use it myself quite regularly, and I think it will find its place in the marketplace, and in the later stages we will do also a mobile app for this client.
Hey guys, it's Oleg. I'm Gleb's friend. We have been knowing each other for I think 7 years or so. I'm also an online entrepreneur. I'm running an international company helping businesses use AI to automate their marketing and content creation efforts. I'm running my own YouTube channel where I'm showing technical tutorials about that, how you can build different automations, and I'm using it as my lead acquisition channel for my business. And I'm not a native English speaker, and I had so much doubts and anxiety when it comes to building YouTube on English, but I'm doing it. It's growing. It's not easy, but I'm super happy that I took that risk in my life, and it's been fun. So take more risks and don't be scared to live the life that you want to live.
A busy, hectic end of the year. 5 weeks left, and we have 3 more client projects launching this year. In the next five weeks, we're trying to try our best to do these releases, which requires a lot of attention from my side. And we also just had 4 new incoming leads for the agency that we need to speak to make the quotations, etc., and to see if it's a good fit, if we will start these projects late this year or maybe early next year, or plan ahead down the road. So a lot of stuff to do, but I also feel that the last proper reset was the Salalah Oman trip in August. So it's been 3.5 months since the last proper rest, and I feel that the battery is starting to drain a bit, because before the Salalah it was also a few months of constant work. Now it's been another 3.5 months of constant work, and in a few days I'm actually going on a pretty long trip. I'm excited to show you guys in the next videos. I think, at least for me, this trip is kind of exciting. It's the part of the world I haven't yet explored so much.